All right, if you're a high school student in Volusia County, you can pretty much forget all the generic SAT advice you've ever heard. This right here, this is your hyper-local game plan for absolutely crushing the test right here in Daytona, Ormond, and Port Orange.
Look, let's get one thing straight from the very beginning. The admission standards for schools like UF and FSU, they are tougher than they've ever been. And the requirements for bright futures are getting stricter too. So just showing up and winging it, that's not a strategy anymore. It's time to get serious. So yeah, whether you're at Spruce Creek grinding through that IB curriculum, or you're a student over at Seabreeze, Mainland, or Father Lopez, this is for you. Atlantic, Warner Christian, Riverbend Academy, we are talking directly to you and the very specific challenges you face preparing for the SAT in our area.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to talk about the stakes right here in Volusia County. Then we are going to decode this new digital test. After that, I'll show you how to use your local environment to your advantage, and we'll talk about closing those frustrating curriculum gaps. And we'll wrap it all up with the big one, the Bright Futures payoff. First up, the Volusia County stakes. You know, this isn't just about getting into a cool school. It's about being able to afford it. This one test, this single score, has a direct, and I mean massive impact on your future and your family's wallet. Okay, now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the digital SAT. I need you to forget everything you think you know about the old paper and pencil test. You're stepping onto what is basically an adaptive battlefield, and if you want to win, you have to know the new rules of engagement. So you hear this term multi-stage adaptive. What does that even mean? Let's break it down. The test is split into sections, right? Well, each of those sections has two parts, or modules. How you do on that first module directly dictates how hard the questions are going to be in the second one. This creates a super clear path to getting your best possible score. Step 1, you have to nail that first module with really high accuracy. If you do that, step 2 is the test routes you to a tougher second module. And why does that matter? Because that is the only way to unlock the door to the top score range. Seriously, think of that first module as a gatekeeper. Do well, and the gate swings wide open to a higher score ceiling. But if you make just a few too many mistakes early on, that ceiling comes crashing down, and it literally caps your maximum possible score, no matter how perfectly you answer the rest of the questions. So to succeed, you have to become a master of the software itself. I mean, you need to be completely comfortable with the official Blue Book practice app, you need to know the built-in Desmos calculator inside and out, and you have to be able to use those annotation tools without even thinking about it, long before you walk into a test center like the one at Daytona State. Okay, next up, let's talk about something most prep guides just totally ignore, your local advantage. We're going to dive into how you can strategically use your environment right here in Volusia County to build just unbreakable focus. This is a really key psychological trick. You have to separate your chill space from your workspace. Home, the beach, a coffee shop, those are for relaxing. Your brain knows that. Studying for this thing is a job. The quiet rooms at the Ormond Beach or Port Orange regional libraries, they are perfect for this because they mimic that silent, focused vibe of the actual test day. And timing. Timing is everything, especially around here. You gotta think like a local. I mean, scheduling your SAT during the Daytona 500 or bike week, that's just a recipe for traffic, noise, and stress. Instead, you want to target those calmer test dates in August, October, or March. And a real pro tip, start your focused prep the summer before your junior year. All right, let's talk about something that is super frustrating and trips up a lot of really good students. The curriculum gap. We're going to break down why being a straight A student doesn't automatically mean you're going to get a high SAT score. And here it is, the crucial point. The SAT is not a test of how smart you are. It's a test of alignment. It asks about very specific skills and content that your classes might have covered 2 years ago, or maybe haven't even gotten to yet. And that mismatch, that's where students lose a ton of points. For example, in math, you could be an absolute wizard in calculus, but have totally forgotten the specific exponent rules from Algebra 1 that are all over this test. Or in writing, you might be amazing at analyzing literature, but the SAT is testing these strict technical grammar rules that you rarely focus on in class. These are the gaps that we have to fill. So the solution isn't just to study everything harder, it's to study smarter. You have to figure out your specific weak spots and then focus 100% of your energy right there. That is the fastest, most efficient way to see a real significant score increase. Which brings us to our final, and let's be honest, our most motivating section, the Bright Futures payoff. This is where all that hard work gets connected directly to your bank account, turning that SAT score into thousands of dollars in scholarships.
So let's ask the real question, the one that really matters. What's a seemingly small 40-point jump on the SAT actually worth to a family here in Volusia County? It might not sound like much, but trust me, the financial impact is absolutely massive. The answer? Over $20,000. Yeah, you heard that right. That's about the 4-year value of jumping from one Bright Futures tier to the next. That 40-point gain isn't just a number on a results screen, it is a life-changing amount of money for college. These are the numbers you need to burn into your brain. For 75% tuition covered, that's the Medallion Scholar Award, you need an 1190. For 100% tuition as an academic scholar, that magic number is a 1330. Pin these numbers up on your wall. Seriously. This is the exact mindset you need to have. A small investment in some good prep to push your score from, say, a 1290 to a 1330, that's not an expense. You are essentially buying a scholarship that's going to return thousands upon thousands of dollars. It's one of the single best financial investments your family can make.
Okay, so let's put it all together. Here is your final action plan. First, pin your target score to your wall, 1190 or 1330. Second, master those digital tools, the Blue Book app and Desmos, until they feel like second nature. Third, use your local library as your dedicated workspace. Fourth, get some targeted help to fill your specific knowledge gaps. And finally, please don't forget to keep up with those all-important service hours.
Let's end with this, because it's the most important thing to remember. The SAT does not measure how intelligent you are. It only measures how well you are prepared. This is a solvable puzzle. With the right local strategy, this is a test you can absolutely conquer. You are in control of this outcome.